Are we ready to party? Are you sure?
There was a millionaire who also, he put a nightclub in his, he wanted there to be a nightclub in his bathroom, and he put one side for women, one side for men. But in the men's bathroom, he has cameras in the men's side that are projecting to the women's side because he thinks that that's what women want to see, is guys using the bathroom.
Wait, what?
Do
the
I
guys
told
get
you
to
we
see
took.
the girls on the other side?
No.
Okay.
I'm gonna tell you right now. You probably haven't been in a women's bathroom, but there's not much to see.
Oh, no,
Literally.
I ran clubs and I ran at HEB. I've seen the women's restrooms. Yes.
The women's restrooms are normally in a worse condition than the
It's
men's.
Without a doubt, yes. I think it's because they don't sit on the toilet most of the time.
Yeah.
And kind of hover.
Squatting. Yeah.
Okay. I was told hover.
Hover. I call it
And
hover.
then you've got the nasty baskets, we used to call them.
Yeah. I guess
Nasty basket.
Yeah,
where
menstruation baskets.
you throw away things.
You'd be surprised at times. I mean, in the rinks, but honestly, cleaning up the men. That's why I always to get my ice rink time.
We're already on.
In the we're just talking.
It's okay. We ready to go?
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's go live.
You're up.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Olympian Table. We're talking about all the gruesome stuff as well as the good stuff this morning. My guest this morning is the one and only Courtney Guerra. I got your name right.
Yes, Courtney.
Like to introduce yourself?
Hello, my name is Courtney, and
Courtney.
I'm here to talk about all things Stephen wants to talk about.
Yeah,
right?
you just want to argue with me. That's all you want to do. Don't worry about all this bullshit. You just want to argue with me. So, what have you been doing this week?
What have I been doing this week? My adopted son finally got his driver's license.
He
So
did?
I don't have to chauffeur him around anymore. Somebody called me driving Miss Daisy. I was like, what?
How old is he?
18.
How old do you have to be to get your driving license over here? You can be 16, can't you?
16 to get your license, but if you like have a job and stuff, I think you can get it as early as 15, if I'm correct. It's called a hardship license.
Right. Do you think that's too early to get your driving license?
I think it depends on the person.
I think my answer is buy a bike.
No, I do not agree with that because statistics say that 90% of the time they're going to end up wrecking, most likely, their first vehicle. And I would rather them be protected.
That's one of the reasons why I think 16 is too young. My son, who is no longer a kid, all right, he's 26. He had his license at 16, and he was in his first wreck within 6 months.
Yeah, I was in my first wreck within a month, but that's been the only wreck that's been my fault my entire life. I do like to get in wrecks, but they're not my fault.
I know you like to get in wrecks, but yeah, I just think it's too.
Met you, Courtney, you were in like 3 or 4.
2.
I've
I've had 2 in like the last 6 months. Leave me alone.
I think what people forget is driving a car is like, my dad, I think, was 100% right when he used to say driving a car is it's like driving a weapon. If you really are not aware, and the problem is today, I think, with phones and texts and all the other stuff that's going on. I mean, how many times have you driven down the street and there's a car driving 15, 20 mile an hour in the middle lane, and then you overtake them and you look at them and they're on their phone? And I'm not saying what I'm thinking of that. I mean, it's illegal to do, but people do it, and I can't see why they do it, especially when they've got posh jacks like you.
I don't know. Is it illegal to be on your phone in the car now?
Areas, yeah.
In some areas,
Sure,
not in all
school
areas.
zones and construction zones, I believe that's a big one.
Yeah.
Well, it's illegal in Europe.
It is in Europe. Like
Yeah.
I know the motorcycle cops in Europe will
Sure,
literally
it's
come up
illegal.
beside the cars.
What's that?
Sugarland's illegal, I believe.
Good.
Deer
I'm
Park
glad it
as
is.
well.
And I like the way Sugarland have got cameras.
Well, they're not actually working.
Oh,
Are you talking about at the lights?
Yeah.
They
Let's
like
introduce
did.
him first.
Oh,
If
yeah,
we
let's
haven't
do that.
introduced
I'm
him
sorry.
yet, we sort of got carried away. No, Chase, introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Chase Morris. happy to be here. I work with Courtney. This is my first time walking in, and I got put in the room. So.
And what's your position within the
Sales
company?
manager.
Sales manager. What does a sales manager do in a loan company?
Pretty much review all files, make sure they're clean when they go in, try to get as less steps as you can. Promote.
Less what?
Steps, conditions when the file comes out of underwriting. So
Okay.
it's quicker to clear or close.
I'm sorry, we have to speak sort of normal language.
Dumb it down? Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so just, and then, try to bring in more business, bring in more LOs.
Is STIP short for stipulations?
It's more of a term we use in the business, I would
Okay.
say. It's for just conditions. It is.
Okay. And you were saying you had a sort of a mixed background with some of the things you've done. What have you done in the past?
I started, I had a lawn mowing company when I was 10 years old. It's about 13, made about $15,000 a year. Then I went to HEB, worked from a bagger all the way up to manager in charge before I was 20. Pinstripe cars with my uncle for a little while. Then I got into the mortgage business when I was 22. I'm 39 now. Then retail to builder world, and then back to retail. Work with the big banks, small banks, brokerage, all kinds of difference.
What's the difference, do you feel, between the big banks and the small banks?
The big banks are going to, well, in my opinion, back in the day, the big bank's name was the driving force behind why people would use their potential LO, or maybe even realtors. Now I feel it's more transitioning to, it's more about you and your platform and what you've built as far as your social media, your reviews, all that. That's what people look at. So they're not really looking at the company name anymore. They're looking at the person, the product, the person doing the job. So I felt like when that started to change, like Wells Fargo was one of the largest mortgage companies in the industry forever, and they're pretty much out of it.
Right.
No one's enjoying that anymore. And then I would say about 2 or 3 years ago, no one liked having their loan take 90 to 120 days.
Right. And I don't think the 2008 loan crisis helped Wells Fargo at all.
I don't think it helped anyone really, countrywide.
Well, there was some companies out there that I think.
They were doing some crazy loans. Countrywide,
Absolutely.
and I think it was Allied were the two that probably stick out the most. That got hit the most as far as penalized.
Yeah.
But I remember these AEs coming into our office back in those days saying, "Hey, just give us a loan if they're breathing. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, but Wells Fargo was just opening up accounts.
Yeah,
I figure this. You get a loan,
stipulators.
and you get a loan,
Yeah,
and you get a loan. It's like Oprah Winfrey.
Well, and the LOs, of course, we would tell the borrowers, 100% interest loan. Hey, you're not paying any principal, so if the house goes out in value, you're going to be in some trouble. You need to pay attention
And
to this.
then, yeah.
ARM programs.
It's a little bit like a Ponzi scheme, really.
On those kind of loans, I didn't see a benefit for the borrower.
I think it was
Luckily,
lack of education back then.
Yeah. Now
Yeah.
everyone is educated, and in reality, the most important thing for an LO to do is to educate the borrower for them to make the right choice for them. And that's just what's kind of changed since everyone had to get their license.
Be careful, it will decide
No,
to smack you in the
you got
face
it.
sometimes.
I'm not moving.
I know, but we got to get you set up. Okay.
Is that better now?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, just talking to the mic, talking to the god. Interesting. One of our agents' sons started a lawn business, and similar to what you were saying, and he started it in the neighbourhood, and gradually he went out, and he used to cut their lawns for like $50, $75 or whatever, and he built it up, and he built it up over a number of years, and then he sold it.
That's smart. Didn't want to work as a
And,
bank anymore.
and now he's at college, very, very smart individual. He was going to help us at one time before Kay came in to do our social media, and maybe he was going to do it remote because he's at college now. I met him once, and very, very smart kid, and he sold his business for like 75 grand, 80 grand.
I mean, that's
He sold the business. He just sold it to a lawn company.
To be honest with you, I think lawn companies are probably doing pretty good. I know it's a seasonal thing, but in reality, most people don't mow their lawns anymore. They would rather pay $30 or $40 to get it
And then
done.
if you think
Well, they
about
don't want
like
to be out there in the heat. That's the thing.
Well, the HOAs, they're mowing all day long, and then you got the builder world. I know 2 of my buddies that actually own the companies that supply the yard and all of it for different builders, and they're making bukus of money. and it's year round for them. You know what I mean?
All I know is I moved out to like the Hitchcock area, so I have about 3/4 of an acre now, and I am jealous whenever I drive by and see these weed eater people just going, and I'm like, I wish I could do that.
I would buy a goat or something that eats grass if I lived out in something that big, you know.
Do your deed restrictions allow it?
If there's no HOA, I believe you can do it. But in my community, you wouldn't.
In my community, we can have. I live in A-Leaf, which is pretty good, but it's a private estate in A-Leaf.
Where? Right there, like by Derry Ashford? Or?
Richmond Road Estates.
Okay.
And basically, our deed restrictions, we have nearly an acre. And our deed restrictions say we can have one animal, so it can be a horse, if it wants to be.
Mm.
It can be a horse. I don't know how many goats you could have, but my problem is I've got 3 old English sheepdogs, and that might be a bit of a challenge, having a couple of goats.
Yeah, especially those little jumpy ones. Those are pretty funny to watch. But with
The ones that
dogs-
play dead?
I don't know. The ones that just bounce around.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the ones that go and face up.
Anyway.
I'm a horse, so I can go ride the horse.
Yeah.
Do you understand how expensive a horse is?
Yeah.
How to maintain it and take it.
It's like getting another child.
It's expensive. My wife did a Groupon for my oldest daughter a long time ago, and I was like, "You're an idiot. What are you doing?" Well, she likes this. Of course, she liked it. So we had to.
But you
rent
just rent a
and
horse. That's the best.
Rent it, and then we got to where we had to pay for the veterinarian part, and then the housing of the horse, and we were
Even
paying
when you
half
rent it.
I feel like you
paying
got a
half and half.
timeshare
Yeah,
for a
it's
horse.
You can go. There's some places with stables where you can rent them for like an hour or 2 hours.
Fresno, right there. I guess right before Alvin, down South 6.
There's a place somewhere where you can
have your own horse there, or you can rent them.
Yeah, or you can rent them, but you have to pay the vet's fees and stuff. Because I used to
and
ride a horse for the school I went to. We had a
Did you do the English style or the Western style?
English.
English, okay. Like the A, B, C point and all that.
Yeah.
Western, we just stand up and kind of, just go
And
forward.
the people don't realise how physical it is.
It is, and it's pretty impressive. On like my little girl, she was doing it, and I was like, "That's pretty cool."
It's pretty. Anyway, let's move on. Today is. What, are you looking at Amazon over there or something while we're on the podcast?
No.
Yes,
I'm not.
you were.
No.
I was reading up on all the Buc-ee's and
Yeah.
Okay.
Gold.
Well, anyway, what we're going to talk about first is we're going to talk about. Today is National Coming Out Day. What's your feelings on that? Now, just to let everybody know, the reason why I wanted to bring this up was I was listening to a radio show in Houston, which I absolutely adore. It's called the Ruler and Ryan Show, and it's in the mornings from, I think, 6 in the morning till 9:30.
Is it on 96.5?
No, 104.1.
Okay.
And they mentioned that it was National Coming Out Day, and there was a number of, it's like a group of 4 or 5 people, I think one Special K, Ruler, Ryan, they've got a new guy on it now, and basically what they were saying was today is National Coming Out Day, and they were saying that some of the things that they've got with this National Coming Out Day, and I thought it's real strange. So I didn't know that it was law that if a teacher finds out or is told that a student is gay, that they have to tell their parents.
That's a law.
Uh-huh.
Or a
states.
policy. It's a
It's
law.
a law in some states.
Is it a law here in Texas?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wow.
I didn't even know that.
So if a kid says I'm gay at the age of like 8 years old, they have to tell the parents?
Yeah. And some parents could react to that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, to me, I've always thought it's a private. I don't think you should be ashamed.
Mm-mm.
Whether you're gay or otherwise, but at the same time, I think it's something that should be respected, and it was interesting listening to Special K on the Ruler and Ryan show this morning, because he said, it says nowhere in any of the Bibles, any of the Christian Bibles or the Jewish Bibles, that, we love everyone, regardless, so... but I thought it was interesting and wanted to know what your thoughts were on it. What do you think the purpose is of National Coming Out Day?
I just want to say that I think that if a kid isn't comfortable telling their parents, there's a reason, like that they're not telling them already. So I feel like you could be putting that kid in danger. Like,
Do you think there's any reason to have a National Coming Out Day?
I don't know. That's none of my business.
No, I'm asking your opinion.
I think
Because to me, I can't see the purpose in having a National Coming Out Day, because that's what they was discussing on the show.
There's a
There's
a day for everything now, Stephen.
Yeah,
There's like National Apple Pie Day. There's all kinds of days for everything.
I like Apple Pie Day. But maybe the coming out day is more to celebrate people that have came out.
yeah.
Yeah, well, that's a good reason to have a national. I'm not saying that National Coming Out Day should not be allowed. I'm just saying, what do you think is the main purpose for having a National Coming Out Day?
For me, I wouldn't be involved in it, but people can live their life however they want. I'll respect that, but
You wouldn't be involved in it?
Nope.
For what reason?
because I don't believe in it.
In being gay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Oh, no, that's fair comment. That's fair comment.
So I won't celebrate with it,
For what
but I also
reason?
won't hate on anybody either.
Religious beliefs?
Mm-hmm.
See, religions cause more wars than anything else.
But I'm not sitting here saying anything. Everybody else can live their life however
And I
they
agree
want.
with that. I mean, you know.
More than economics, religion has caused more wars than financing issues. Or
Usually
economics.
religion is somewhere in there.
Religion, I think, caused more wars than anything else.
Than just natural.
It's like,
greed, who I want
we're going to
that
talk
way.
later on in the show about the Israeli and the Hamas, but I'm going to save that to later on. Okay, let's move on. We're going to give our deepest sympathies at the moment for former Olympic champion Mary Lou Retton. She is fighting for her life. She's originally from Houston, and she is suffering, and she's been diagnosed with a very rare form of pneumonia. She's in ICU. She won the all-round gold medal at the Los Angeles Olympics in 1984.
So how old is she now? Do you
She
know?
is 55 years old. Her children went to Second Baptist when Jack and Jill, they may have been in the same class.
Why don't you tell Chase a little bit about your background?
What do you mean, the funny side or the actual side?
The skating side.
I can make something up.
The skating side.
Now, you talk about, well, I'm sort of going backwards, because I was going to say National Coming Out Day was a day that perhaps they should have had when I was skating, but
Stephen, I think that we're probably the only street figure skating man. I don't think they need.
can I tell? Well, let me tell you a little story.
You look
I
up
used
data on
to.
that and see how many with different
I used to do ballet. Now, at the time,
That'd probably be
And-
really good for your ice skating too,
A lot
for
of football players
flexibility.
do ballet.
I had to do it. You had to do it because I was from a pretty poor, area, and we used to get grants to do different things, but to put into the stuff. So Wendy Sessions, my partner, she had to do ballet. I had to do ballet. We used to do ballet together. And I'll tell you a funny story. We were doing these height kicks one day, and we're at a place called Betty Fox. She used to do all the ballet for the local Birmingham Hippodrome for the little kids over there. So we went to her. That was the first place we did it. We're doing these high kicks. And anyway, when you get the feeling that you're going to fart and you're trying to squeeze them cheeks. Well, I was doing them
No, I know
high
the
kicks.
exact feeling.
I was doing them high kicks one day, and all of a sudden, them cheeks just let blow. And Wendy, she just creased up and fell on the floor. And Wendy would never let me forget that.
I wouldn't either.
Yeah.
Especially if you knocked me out.
I did a little bit of ballet at one point.
Too bad that wasn't around this time. You probably would have had a video of it floating around.
Or knowing Wendy, she would have got on and said that. And then the other thing was, when I did ballet at another establishment, let's call it, then basically there was 14 guys in the class and about 30 girls. I really at that point had no idea about. I was very naive about being gay, the gay community. Very naive. It was a different time.
Yeah.
All I was bothered about, I was so focused on skating. This is what I want to do. This is, what I want to do.
It wasn't, the time where you could literally Google anything and you pretty much got the education that your parents
Yeah.
gave you.
And I will tell you, I'm not going into detail, but I had some excellent experiences as a young man.
I looked up what percentage of male figure skaters might be gay, and then the first thing that came up was just the gayest sport in America.
Male figure skater?
Yeah. It
says America, that doesn't say world?
It just says the gayest sport. I don't know.
Oh, there you
The
go.
wonders of Google.
Oh, wow.
It's 50%. It says at least like 50%.
I can guarantee. I can guarantee you. I think.
I think it's more.
What's
I
that?
think it's definitely more, but also
You think it's more?
Yeah, because
They're gay?
I think
Is that saying women and men? Is that saying both?
Oh no, I think it's
Just
it only
men.
says
Just
men.
men.
Yeah.
You know what I like for the Olympic
But
ones is the
I
ones where they
don't-
have the
you
balls.
see, I
and
don't
they
think it's
skid
that
it.
high.
It says
Shut
And
up.
I'll tell you why I don't think it's that high.
I love that one.
The amount of pair skaters and ice dance couples that end up dating or marrying is exceptionally high.
Well, they're together for how long? What, 8 hours a day for forever?
You know,
It's,
What's that if it's your work wife?
but
Is
also-
that what they call it, people you work with?
you have to think about the fact that it says that.
but I think
26%
men figure skaters is probably men's freestyle.
But also, 26% of figure skaters are male. So it's like, of course, it would be 50% when there's only 26%. Like,
But that's what
That's
I'm.
such a low
That's men's.
statistic.
That's men's freestyle.
yeah.
I think, in all fairness, when you look at men's freestyle skaters, it might just the men's freestyle. It might be around 50%. Because there's been some really good men's. But anyway, that's off the point. But let's just get back to Mary Lou Retton. We hope that she's got. Let's all pray for her. I'm not religious, but we'll pray for Mary Lou Retton. She's done so much for the local community, and I know she does a lot for Second Baptist.
Oh, and on here it says that they started also crowdfunding and spot fund because she doesn't have any health insurance right now.
Oh, welcome to America.
She doesn't get special treatment?
I don't think so. I would maybe think they would be like almost a veteran kind of.
Right?
I would think. No, she's not. She's not in retirement age yet. Okay, never mind. Moving on. Hopefully she does okay.
Don't you think that's ridiculous?
Yeah.
You win 2 gold medals for your country, and you've got no health insurance.
Do people
They
that
don't
do
have
Olympic
a-
stuff really make that much money though?
Maybe on the sponsors.
They can sell their gold medal.
Was she on the Wheaties?
No. I think she was on the Wheaties. She was on the Wheaties box.
Don't laugh. You know that was a thing.
I think what people.
We're going back to
you know
time
what?
we had
Myself
missing
and
people
my-
in milk
myself-
cartons.
Okay, myself and my wife had this.
Oh, that was a little weird.
Myself and my wife had this conversation a couple of nights ago. We watched Bex on Netflix
Yeah,
about David Beckham. Have you seen that?
I have not.
I just scrolled past.
But it's real interesting because
It's called Beck's
Yeah.
Prime. No,
What?
that's not right. I'm sorry.
Prime's
That's
a
a burger
burger place.
I'm sorry.
It's really good though.
I've
David-
never been there. I
David
guess I'm gonna have
Beckham.
to try that.
David
Yeah.
Beckham, okay?
Yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
the story of David Beckham. And what he basically says was, David Beckham, as he was growing up, probably one of the most talented soccer players that you'll find on the planet or ever seen on the planet. When he was growing up, a lot of his teammates were basically saying, he'd make 50 grand a week, which in then times was good money. But what he would do, he'd go out and buy a car. He might go out and buy a Jag,
If he was lucky enough.
Every week he would go out and buy something.
Oh, here we go. There's the boxes.
All right.
Oh, yeah, I just had to put that up. Continue.
Oh, that's Mary Lou Retton. Yeah. And
cute.
But where David made his money was David built himself a brand.
Mm-hmm.
True.
And what he ended up doing was there was a car, he had his hair done, then Gucci would sponsor him,
He's like really good looking.
Nike would sponsor him, the
my
manager he
type, I
worked
guess.
for wouldn't let him wear white soccer boots. Alex Ferguson would only let him wear black boots. But he was building himself a brand.
But
Now, hold on, now he's worth an awful lot of money. But to answer your question, more sports people go broke after they finished being an elite sports person.
Well, the problem is,
before.
except for baseball, their careers are so short usually.
It's
They're
not
not very
smaller than
long.
money.
I just
They
wanted
go
to
out and buy
say-
5 houses. They bring on an entourage of 90 people. They take care of all of them.
Yeah, I think especially the soccer players. I think the NFL players. I think it's a big problem.
Yeah, I would say NBA too.
We've had clients that have been NFL players. We had one that was retired because of an injury, and they got themselves a pension. He used to play for the Texans, and basically he was living on this, not the pension, but whatever they call it, the sick pay or anything. But they haven't got a business mind. It's a little bit like somebody winning the lotto, and then they
Yeah.
don't know how to manage their money.
The percent of people that
And
all their money
it was
is
interesting
gone is so
because
crazy.
on this Bex that I was watching last night, he was saying about one of his fellow team players was called Phil Neville, and Phil Neville basically said we couldn't understand it because we all had pension plans. Bex didn't have a pension plan at that point. He was just buying cars every week. He'd buy leather jackets. He'd go buy Gucci this and and everything else.
When did he marry that?
And
Spice
then he
Girl?
married the Spice Girl.
2000 something.
No,
They've
it
been
was-
together
it-
for
it
some
was
time
before
now.
then. It was like 95.
No, it was not 95.
Yeah,
Was it 95?
There's no way. It was way after I was born. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, it was definitely the 2000s. So, because, okay. So
When-
this is what people thought that David Beckham, this is what I have up on screen. This is a prediction from 1998 of what they thought that David Beckham would look like in 2020.
Did he fix his teeth?
Yeah, I think he has.
Yeah.
My wife's a dentist and she said he has.
That's what he looked like?
And
No,
did-
this
did-
is what they predicted that he would look like in 2020.
I don't ever remember him going
What is
bald.
that?
This is what they thought he would look like at this.
Does it say when he married? When did
Why does he look so much happier ugly? Than he's
You know what? You weren't too far off. They started dating in 97 and got married in 99.
I told you. I told you. I know it was in 19 something whatever, but I don't think it was later than
He
that.
kind of reminds me a little bit of Avril Lavigne.
That's crazy.
Just a little bit.
Maybe then.
But
I wanted to say about the downfall of athletes and them like spending too much money and things like that. There is an NBA player. I believe he won a ring, and he's homeless now, or he's not homeless anymore. I don't think, but his name was Delonte West, and people they kept running into him, and so this is what.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
isn't this the guy that got in trouble for dating LeBron James's mom? Yeah, Dante West.
You keep up with a lot of stuff.
So funny.
Okay, so you go back to when they were winning the championship or in the playoffs when
Yeah.
LeBron was in Cleveland the first run, and this was one of the rumors that Dante West had hooked up with LeBron James's wife, and LeBron James
wife, not mother?
or mother, yeah, LeBron James' mother, and then LeBron James sabotaged his
whole
career,
life.
his whole career.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I think he was on like the corner, like begging for money and
Yeah.
maybe doing drugs or whatnot, right?
Yeah, he said that he gave people too much money. He tried to take care of his family and things like that, and then he couldn't. I don't think he could get to another team. He's now he's back in the league because people's eyes have been on him. So he's obviously not in the National Basketball League, but he's in the lower level. But
Like
is
the
that
summer
LeBron
league?
James's mom?
I don't know. Like I said, this was a huge story back. It was on ESPN and all. And I remember I was like,
Oh, he likes to watch the reality shows, don't you?
no, I was just watching news, like sports. Yeah, I think that I was laughing. I was like, it's crazy.
That's crazy. But yeah, he did that. And then recently people were slamming Jay-Z because he said that he does not give his family members, at Thanksgiving, people will ask for money and he will not give it to them. He mentioned one time his cousin asked for $5,000 to start a business and he told them no. And everybody was really, really upset with him for saying no. But it's like if you give every single member of your family money, that's not.
I got a small family, thanks goodness. So.
I'm not giving my family no. They get $1,000 out of me and a good luck, okay?
Well, I won $300 on the lotto last night.
Yeah, that's why you're taking us to lunch. But that's different.
Yeah.
Chase, do you play
Maybe
the
like
lotto?
sandwiches.
No, I don't really gamble.
Me neither.
You
Just
know.
you, Stephen.
No, you want to talk about gambling? My dad was the gambler. He
Okay.
used to.
So this is what I like to say. Okay, you won $300. How much
Uh-huh.
did you spend before that?
On just last night?
No, before you won.
Oh, I don't know. You know,
Fun out of it.
you don't look at gambling that way. You don't look at it. My father, who was a very good gambler, he went to Vegas once with $35,000. He was big into the roulette tables, and he would be there for hours. He got to the point where he said it was cheaper for him to go to Vegas than it was for him to come to Houston and see his own family and his grandchildren. And we used to go to Vegas because he used to gamble so much. MGM would give him a suite, but he'd give the suite to us, so we would have it. And
Oh, that's nice.
yeah, he was a generous guy. And basically, one year he went to Vegas with $33,000, and he came back with 182.
That's nice.
Yeah, he had a
Isn't,
really good time. But he said his main rule was he had a thing that he used to do. Okay, he used to have the way they used to do it. He would never let me know, and he said, because I haven't got the discipline to stop.
Yeah.
All right, he had the discipline to walk away from the table, and he said, never look on gambling, or if you're not prepared to lose, then don't do it. But look at it as lost money. All right, I control it.
I don't know what the heck that is.
I did control it, in all fairness, and I still do control it. I limit myself, but at the same point. But I'll give you an example. All right. We don't gamble unless it's over 500,000 on the lottery. All right. If it's not over 500,000, no, I don't want to know. All right. So we don't do it all the time. My wife gambles $9. All right.
Okay.
I gamble 10 tickets each time.
So $19 total.
Well, that end up $3 each,
Okay.
which ends up being
30.
$30.
Okay.
But only when, like at the moment, 1.5 billion, I'll do that. Not a problem.
Do you increase how much you put in as it keeps going higher and higher?
No.
Same amount every time? Same numbers every time?
No.
Just
I
random?
just do quick picks. For the research I've done, quick pick seems to have been picked more than people that have picked random numbers. So I just go with the quick picks. But that's the most I've ever won anything last night. I was just looking, the $300 that I won, because it was with the power play, it was 3 of 5 numbers with the Powerball, or it was 4 of 5 numbers. Because when you put your thing in to see if you've won, they don't give you the ticket back, so you never know how you won.
Isn't there an app now you can do it with?
There is. They've just released one. And then if I had one more number, it would have been 150,000. And 4 people won that.
And you still would have just bought lunch for everybody, right? At 150.
That was
versus
her
300.
idea.
He never agreed to it, but I'm just trying to get him to say
Hey, I'm
something.
buying lunch on the 16th for our CE class, so there you go. Yeah, as long as you all like hot dogs.
Some James coming on.
So, yeah. They went out of business. Can you believe that?
There's 2 or 3 left.
Really?
There's one going
I
45
was so
south.
I was so disappointed.
I was too.
With James Coney Island going out of business. I used to like going to James Coney Island.
Walker Street, which is like what the number 1, 2 hot dogs and the French fries, chili cheese across
So
the board.
where's the?
You got one in Ireland, you know, that Bel Air 610 split right there in front of that mall. You still have one, and then you have the one that's on 45 South, past maybe right in front of NASA or past NASA. There's like
Oh,
a
really?
Hooters in the same shopping mall. And then the other one I was told is by our Humble office in like a Tascasita somewhere.
Wow.
Now I had the one going 45 South 2 or 3 times after all of them closed around like locally.
Have you tried Freddy's before?
Yes.
I like Freddy's.
James Cornell was my favorite thing. I grew up in A-Leaf, so I would ride. I had a house off Willcrest and Harlan. I would ride all the way down Harlan to West Oaks Mall, and it was like $6.49 for a Walker Street and a soda. Chili cheese across the
Walker Street.
Yeah, that's what they called them, their number one.
I wouldn't know. I've only
Oh,
eaten
I
there
got
like
you.
twice.
I got you. They're number one on the menu. I thought Walker Street was a different restaurant or something.
That was what it's called.
Okay. Yeah, when I was waiting for the kids at the school and they was finishing basketball, that James Coney Island that you said, the one in Myland,
Yeah,
that's the one I used to go to.
that's the one. That's one of the 3, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Let's talk about, shame Laura's not here. Laura's one of the team members over at OwnStar Premier Mortgage. Let's talk about Buc-ee's. So tell us, Kay, tell us the story about Buc-ee's. So if everybody doesn't know, Buc-ee's is a local, although it is going statewide.
It's not too much
now.
local anymore.
No, it's sort
It's
of
all
gone
over
state.
Texas. Yeah.
I know Tennessee just got their first one,
Yeah,
I
but
think.
they're starting to go statewide. Gas stations, and they are really something. I mean, you've got just hold on.
Gas stations is facing
Let's-
28 felony charges.
But this is done out of his house, right?
But basically, what it is, they have huge gas stations and with multi-pumps, but their stores are pretty cool. You can buy barbecue sandwiches, you can get
It's like a
you
gas
can help
station
yourself. You can get
Walmart.
anything there, can't you?
Anything, like, yeah, food-wise.
You know,
or
food,
alcohol,
water,
some clothing
anything.
items that you don't need to be wearing.
You can get a Buc-ee's outfit. Like the little
You can do. You can get.
I don't know how people wear that around here. It's too hot for that.
I've seen the onesies that are pretty cool.
Yeah, the
like,
onesies.
So,
Yeah, my friend got
anyway,
the onesies for this whole family. I was like, no,
So-
I'm good.
with all that being said, let's sort of go on to what we
Yeah.
heard in the week.
Accused of hiding cameras in his homes and recording people without their consent. Mitchell Watson was arrested Tuesday. Investigators say back in May, someone who was staying at his family's home near Lake Travis found the recording device in their room. In an arrest affidavit, police say Wasik had similar videos from his apartment in Dallas and his family's vacation home in Colorado. Investigators found 68 video files dating back to 2021.
That is so many.
Why do they? What I can't understand is why do they live in Colorado now? And they've got all them Buc-ee's down here.
They was in Austin.
Yeah, no. This
That's
was-
Lake Travis.
Yeah, this was in Lake Travis, but he was just saying that one of his vacation homes also had cameras in it
Oh,
in
okay.
Colorado.
And it just says that the dad is, I guess, listed as the owner of all properties, right?
So the thing is that it's so easy to get a hidden camera. Go on Amazon, spend $15 or $20. It can be like USB. It's tiny. It can be basically like put in for the, where the plugs are at. You can literally have one that's like a clothes hanger. They're all over the place now. It's so easy to get those. And when you're going to the bathroom or anything else, you're not looking for that kind of stuff.
What I can't understand is what is he trying to film?
People changing, it looks like.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's like,
People are interested in that.
Yeah.
you know what it's like.
You never heard of a golden shower, Steven?
Let's not talk about that, please.
I'm sorry, but that's
Okay.
I'm so sorry.
That's the first thing that comes to your mind when we're talking about it.
No.
Yeah, but I mean, what does he get out of that?
Some people
Watching
are
a
into
golden
weird things.
shower.
Just like there is a holiday for everything, there is a fetish for everything as well.
So we're gonna have golden
cut it
shower
off there.
If that
No.
comes out like apple pie day, that's going to be a little awkward. I want to be on the podcast for that golden shower day. I want to be on that one.
I think that is just, it's just weird. I don't know why he would want to do that. That is.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
This is what I was talking about before, though. Earlier, speaking of, I think there is a correlation. Like Courtney said, if there's like a fetish for everything, there's a correlation between like people who have more money. They're just interested in the weirdest thing. The more money that you have, the
Maybe
weirder
because
the
they were
fetish is.
given everything else as a child, maybe it's hard to find something that's interesting.
Yeah, like,
I don't know. That's just, I didn't grow up like that, so that's just a
Once
theory,
I have
thought.
enough money, I'll let y'all know.
please don't. It's crazy.
Once I have enough money, I'll let
Plus, as like a normal middle class person, you do something like this, you're going to jail for a very, very long time. Co-founder of Buc-ee's does something like this, they're going to hire the best lawyers, they're going to give the best fight, and I wonder how long he's actually going to go to jail for it.
It's
Yeah,
24 felonies. Let's just say they give you 5 or 10 years per felony. You're looking at almost 100 and something years. Even
Can
if
you
he gets-
prove that he was the one that put him in there?
If he's the one who has all of the video casings of them being there was recorded, then yeah, I think he's guilty by association at least.
That's true. 64 too. Like, that is ridiculous to have 64 video files of just people changing or using the bathroom. Like, I would be so upset.
I just can't see the kick in it. You know, I mean, it'd be interesting to get a psychologist's
yeah, I don't
opinion
know.
on that.
Yeah,
After
see-
me having one milkshake, he would be like, I don't want these cameras in there anymore.
Because it's not saying that he actually was in possession of these. It was actually taken out of that bathroom and sent to the Dallas Police Department, and it had 68 files on it. So I wonder if somebody else is going to end up getting blamed for this. Who knows?
The handyman or something, or you'd be like, oh, he put it in there.
Well, didn't I read somewhere saying like that they have the Amazon purchases through his account or something like that?
Oh, Amazon.
If his Amazon account was the ones that bought the hidden cameras, then I would say, okay, we have to ask. Like, well,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But this
Houston, we have a problem. That's what it'll be.
This is what I was talking about the rich billionaire guy. He built a $500 million mansion,
Okay.
and he put a nightclub, quote unquote, in the bathroom.
oh, this.
And the things that, see these plates right here, that's for a monitor, right? And then if you come into his side,
Is there no doors on there? Is that the men's?
these are the urinals.
That's the women's side with no
And
doors.
you have cameras here looking at the guys. You can have cameras looking at the guys putting the image in the girls' bathroom.
Oh, and not even the back. We're talking about down. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, what
Okay.
else did you want to look at?
A guy would do.
I was trying to be innocent here, okay?
In the back for a minute, you know?
That is so weird.
That's a little off.
That is, so it's just like, who would, Courtney, do you want that to be in the bathroom?
I don't know. I would want a door on my bathroom in the first place, okay?
It looks like it's still under construction. Maybe they're bringing in the doors, but either way, that's still.
Off the rails.
Do
To say the
men
least.
consent to, like, do the men consent to that if they're using the bathroom
I
too?
mean, I don't.
It's like,
Most guys.
I see a lawsuit happening.
Well, it's at his house. I mean, who builds a club at his bathroom? Or,
yeah, this is actually, I wanted to show this tomorrow for the Texas Real Estate Show. But this is the most ridiculous
That is
home.
I want to say mine.
So-
It's the most expensive house in the world, $500 million.
So he just has too much money that literally he probably sleeps at night and thinks up of some
What does he do?
crazy
What does he
idea
do?
and is all like,
What's
let's
his
do
name?
it.
He has no.
He,
500 million. I would figure there'd be more expensive homes than that.
That's what I was thinking too.
this was in 2021 though too.
Nah, but still.
But I don't know what he does. But I don't know what either one of these two people do. I think the weird guy with the bathroom thing, he's an architect. So he built it to sell it.
Is this in California?
Yeah, it's in Bel Air. However, nobody wanted to buy that house. So guess how much it sold for?
Way too less because he put all his
Pennies on the
personal
dollar.
touches in there.
Exactly. How much?
It was what we call in the industry
Pennies on the dollar.
Yeah, but guess.
an
Everybody
over improvement.
Guess.
So it's
10
supposed to be
million.
500 million?
It's supposed to be 500 million.
I say 340.
5 million.
5 million is crazy.
10 million.
No, $160 million.
Whew, I was way off.
That was
Did-
It was all way off.
$160 million.
I wonder how much money he actually put into building that.
Yeah, because it's
Probably lost it
105,000 square feet. That's how big the entire
What
house
would
is.
you do with a house for
105,000
105,000 square feet?
You could rent it out
But a
for
nightclub ended up here.
Airbnb.
I don't know. Just for me, I think of like a 2,000 square foot house to 4,000. Oh my goodness, that's so much
keep
to
it.
clean. 105,000?
Absolutely.
What?
I don't like
Keep
having 2
it.
stories.
No, I'm just into the 4-bedroom, 2-bath, 3-bedroom, 2-bath. That
I probably
would
never
do
go
me.
upstairs in my house ever. Unless I'm yelling at my kids.
I'd rather have the land like we spoke before and have a barn. I'd rather go for that any
I know.
day.
My husband is all about bigger garage than the house.
Absolutely.
He's all
I
like,
might
you
go
got
out-
this
I
little
might go
corner,
out there
you're
and buy
fine.
myself an old MG or something, or an old Jag.
Oh, here we go again.
E-type Jag. Do you know what an E-type is?
Is that the one that has the little spokes on the rims?
Oh, goodness.
E-type Jag, you know. Just to let you know,
Is it
Chase
that
owns
electric?
an English car. It's called it. We call it a Jag or a Jaguar. You pronounce it different. Can
Jaguar?
you bring up an X E-type and an E-type Jag?
Is that a
E-type.
2-door one?
E-type Jaguar. Yes.
Are you talking about an older
It
one?
has like the
It's an
spoke.
older one.
I think I
Yeah.
have. We see one in Sugarland. It's like dark green, convertible. Like
That's right.
Like a tan color.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
It's beautiful.
The dark green is it's called British Racing Green.
They say it's the sexiest car.
Oh, I don't know about that.
I mean, it's a good-looking car.
It looks like a James Bond vehicle.
It probably wasn't.
Not
That's
a really
a hatchback. The one that I was talking about is more of a convertible. But it has those little
Yeah, you
spikes,
can buy
spoke,
them in
yeah,
convertible
the
as
spoke
well.
rims like that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a nice looking car, but it's tiny. That thing is tiny.
The-
It looks like a
They
hot
cost
dog.
a fortune.
Right,
man.
yeah, and that probably year right there is probably the most expensive. Do they
Like
still
50s,
make them?
60s.
Like that type, E-type, or do they
Oh
stop
no,
making
no,
them
no!
after
They
a
don't
while?
make them. Oh no! I've got a 1972 MG at the house.
Mhm.
I just got to get somebody to put it back together.
So, how much is about 190 pounds?
That's worth more than 190 pounds.
Okay.
190 pounds or 190,000?
190,000.
Oh.
How much is
Well,
that?
it's at the moment it's like 1.3 to the dollar, so
So
that'd be
maybe like
like
240.
240. But I think that's worth more than that. Over here, it'd be worth more.
Very pretty.
Yeah, look, there you go. British Racing Green. There you
Yeah,
go.
they say the earliest 60 ones, they usually sell between anywhere from 150,000 pounds to 250,000 pounds.
Yeah, and you get one that's been fully reconditioned, and I think it'd be more. I really do.
If you get the bigger engine one, that's
It reminds me, because I don't know cars, so it reminds me of the Wiener Schnitzel car.
the what?
The Wiener Schnitzel.
The Wiener Schnitzel car.
Oh my god!
That's
How
the
does
most.
this matter?
How
How does this even come
how
close?
How can
Put
you
the
compare-
pictures together. That's not even in the same category.
It's just
How can you How can you even?
Let's be like, this beautiful
Hey,
car. This looks like a
Do
bicycle.
you know where that car needs to go?
What?
That's not a car. That's a.
Do you know where that car needs to go? In the
That's a
night. In the
Wienermobile.
nightclub.
Okay, just the front yellow part. I see how
Hey.
you see
Yeah.
it. Okay, other than that, nothing else.
Hey, that car needs to go in the nightclub.
With the restroom?
Yes.
Oh, that fit in really well.
Oh my goodness.
They haven't got that anymore, have they? That Wiener.
No, they do. It goes around every
Still?
the United States. Yeah.
I thought that.
Does
stopped
it really?
Yes, it does.
I
Can
thought
you
that
rent
stopped
it like for a party?
No, I don't think you can rent it for a party.
I know we almost rented Ghostbusters car for a party like a few months ago, and it was only like $500, and they were
Oh.
gonna ship it from San
What
Antonio.
was it?
The Ghostbusters,
Oh, that's cool.
like station wagon looking thing, the white one with the thing.
Oh my god.
It's a company out of San Antonio, and they'll ship
That's
the car,
amazing.
and they'll put it how you want it. We're gonna put it in the guy's like yard and have lights on. And they were having a huge like kids party for their.
So you don't get to drive it, it just gets to sit there.
It's just gonna sit there.
It's like a mystery machine.
That
right? You
defeats
can
the
also
purpose,
rent
I'm
a
sorry.
mystery machine.
Oh, they had a whole bunch of like I guess replica cars from movies because you can get the kit from what was that movie Knight Rider, and it does all the stuff and you can sit in it and the kit will talk to you.
That's so
Interesting.
Yeah,
Can
that's
we-
just an
Can we talk about Israel?
Trans Am.
We'll go
All
from
right, let's-
something really happy to really
cool. I
sad.
know. I want to talk about the Wiener car still. Just joking.
Let's talk about-
Wait, you can buy it for $7,000. Is that what I saw on the right of that screen?
Oh yes, you can on your own.
You can buy what?
You can
The
buy that Wiener
Oscar
thing for
Mayer.
$7K.
What?
The wiener machine.
I might want that.
You can buy that for $7K.
For
Yeah,
$7K.
because there's a guy who owns one of them.
Who does?
There's just a guy who's.
Can you
trying to
imagine
sell it.
turning up for work?
Yes.
Be like, you know what, Carmen? You can't miss me. I'm in the
Yeah.
big wiener.
You know, when you had problems parking your car this morning, can you imagine? Oh,
Try to
I'm
find
just
for
pulling
that.
up now.
Oh. I mean, you can park it anywhere. You can park it right in front of the gate. No one's gonna really tow it, right? I mean,
Yeah, they're gonna think it's for an event.
Can you imagine if your car was towed? I'm here to pick up my wiener car.
That would be
yeah, it said my wiener's here. Has anyone?
Has anybody seen
No.
my wiener?
Instead of driving that, I would rather drive the Dumb and Dumber car, the one that's got the dog ears on the side of it.
Doesn't he even trade that in for like a little scooter or a moped at the end?
Yes.
That was a funny movie.
so funny.
All right, go ahead, Stephen. Into the very
The
serious stuff. Yes.
I just want to ask you some questions because, you know, what happened in Israel was horrible the weekend. Children, women, and, you know, just innocent people were shot in the streets when Hamas came over, you know, into Israel from the Gaza Strip. And I really feel that, you know, the situation that we're in, I don't worry too much personally about America being pulled into another war. What's that? Why do you?
Because we're funding. If we get pulled into the war with Israel and Palestine, that means we're funding 2 wars.
But you're not funding a war. That's totally nonsense.
We're funding the Ukrainian and Russian war right now. We've sent $164 billion.
We're not funding at all, though.
I know we're not. I mean,
That's what I'm saying.
We're
We're not-
assisting in the funding.
We're not. But you see, that's where people.
I'm
right,
not saying that. Of course, we're the only country funding it. I'm saying we're
right, but
assisting in the
we're
funding.
not funding it all. That's where people get it completely wrong. A
But
lot of it
not
is
that we
a lot of it
take
is
over
stuff that we don't
information.
even use.
We should use it to help our poor.
No, because it's out of date. Because America's technology that we've got, a lot of the stuff that America has, the world don't even know that we've got that technology because it's on interest not. So what do? We send them the old stuff.
Outside of the technology that we're sending over, I mean, as far as monetary support, I think it's ridiculous because there are a lot of things that are going on here where, I mean, we talk about it all the time. There's homeless people all up and down the street that, you know, people need assistance here and we can't even get our own country together.
Well, I disagree. You see, I disagree with that because, and the reason why I disagree with it is quite simple. I think it's a case of you've had the problem here is the government and the governors in Congress are either dumb or stupid. And the reason why to me they're either dumb or stupid is because they're there to represent the people, and whether you like Kevin McCarthy or not, I don't. But the truth of the matter is you're just causing more chaos. It's a stupid rule when you've got one person that can vote that person off. But at the same time, why on earth didn't just any of the Democrats, and I'm a Democrat, I'm a social democrat, all right, but why didn't one of them turn around and say, you know what, for the betterment of the country, I'd rather have somebody there, you understand, and all working together. And regardless what you say about Biden, at least he's got some of them, and he's got some bills that have gotten through that have made a difference to a lot of people. The infrastructure bill, you've just got to go down the street and see all the work that he's done. But the problem I think one of the biggest problems with America at the moment is education. We're not putting enough money into education because education moves into resources.
We need to put
All
more
right,
money
but
into
the
education,
but
we need
the
to put
prob-
more money into our country. Is
Right,
what I'm
but that's
saying,
the
but
problem.
That's
But that's the problem with the politicians when you go onto the other side of the aisle with some of the Republicans, because their answer is we're not spending anymore. They're giving cuts to the billionaires and everybody else, but they're not putting money to grassroots level.
That's what I'm. That's you. So you agree with me? That's what I'm saying.
But the war issue is.
I don't believe that we should be. I don't believe that we should be assisting another other country's war. But I also believe that Israel is occupying Palestine illegally anyway.
Right, and that was the point that I was getting to, because what's happening is Hamas is obviously a military arm. The people are the ones that are really getting hurt on both sides, because where do the people from the Gaza Strip go to? If Israel go in there and flatten it, where do them people go to? They've got nowhere to go to.
Well, didn't Israel do some drone bombings this weekend too, right?
Yeah.
And they bombed like supermarkets, hospitals.
Absolutely. And you
Both
know,
sides are
and
just
what
going
I think, this is what I think is going to happen, is you're going to start to see demonstrations throughout the world. You know, you're going to see supporting, like it happened in Canada this weekend. You've seen demonstrations in Canada for the Palestine, and then you had demonstrations for Israel.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what my worry is. You obviously, on both sides, there's no right. The innocent people are getting hurt. And I think what needs to happen is, I mean, I don't know if you heard, but apparently Hamas wanted a truce yesterday. Did you hear about that?
Yeah, maybe it looks like Israel, where they did bomb, they got some pretty high members.
You know, so apparently Hamas have said they want a truce now, and they're interested in, you know, I don't know how true that is, but you know, what do you do in a situation like this? And I agree. Do you know who caused this problem? Do you know who caused this problem originally, Kay? No. Who do you think caused the problem in Israel originally? It's gone on for hundreds of years.
Religion.
It's gone on for hundreds of years. Religion caused the problem, but the British didn't make it any better in 1948.
Yeah, I was going to say, they've been in there since like the 60s. They've been illegally occupying Palestine, and they've got rid of a lot of Palestinians. It's like a...
Well, at one time they had the Gulf Bank. They had the Gaza Strip. I mean, there's been more peace now but
Yeah.
to a lot of people, this has been building for a long time. But I've always said it, religion's caused more wars than anything else.
But the United States is going to assist Israel.
Have y'all seen some of the
Well,
videos circulating?
That's
Have y'all
not
seen
quite
some of the
yet. The
videos
Sixth Fleet.
circulating?
I'm looking at it right now.
Video. Of the bombing of the power plant?
The bombings, the shootings, there's videos and stuff all over the place of what's going on and people getting shot.
Facebook is, Congress want to know why Facebook was showing people of getting shot and stuff on Facebook. There's something on there that says that Mark Zuckerberg has been summoned to Congress or something.
Why do they keep summoning that man? He's always in front of Congress. Like, shut that site down.
EU gives Meta 24 hours to explain Hamas video's action. European Union has written to Mark Zuckerberg warning him that the platform is being used to spread illegal content.
Yeah, there's supposed to be content, what are they called? Content reviewers on the site. Like, there's actual people that are supposed to be reviewing the content every single day.
But I personally feel for the Israelis and I feel for the Palestinians, and I know that's not an answer, but I really feel, you know, why just keep, I know, you know, hate, there's a point when you can't keep going on through your life and hating people. And I feel you've got it, you know, and I feel that that's what's going to happen in this situation. It's just going to get, and yet, was it the Israeli Prime Minister? He's very, very, you know, right wing in relation to, you know, we don't take prisoners, it's our way or no way. There's very little negotiation in that, so that hasn't helped the situation. You know, but what's your opinion on it? I mean, do you think
Sad.
do you think it can be resolved?
No. Let us say face.
Not.
I think Israel's gonna. This is what he keeps saying. He's gonna make the whole city.
He's going to flatten it. He said he's going to flatten it.
Turn the whole city into tents.
Yeah. And from what I understand, the Gaza Strip, it's already without power and everything else.
He's cut off food. He's cut off everything.
Yeah, and so pretty soon sewage and everything else is going to be gone.
If anyone's helping the Gaza Strip side, right? That isn't the water right behind them. They could have boats coming in. I'm assuming.
Yeah, but it's salt water, wouldn't it? If it's on the.
No, you're not talking about boats coming in.
Yeah, just bringing in supplies.
Maybe, unless there's military presence out in the Gulf
It's
or out in the
crazy.
water.
It looks like they're dropping and dropping and dropping.
Isn't it supposed to be the Holy Land? I'm confused. I'm like,
Yeah, but that's why more people have been killed in religions. But that's where was it in the 10th century with the Crusades, Richard I?
yeah.
If you're familiar with the European history, where did he go?
Christian Crusaders. They killed a bunch of Native Americans. It's crazy.
What do you mean? They went to the
mean,
they went to the Middle East.
They were in the Middle East?
Yeah, Richard I, the Crusades.
I think this is way before America.
10th century, they went to the Middle East to fight for Christianity.
Israel and Egypt about the idea of a state.
There you go. But I mean, it's just sad to see,
That is crazy. And then you have just all these people just walking around like, oh, bomb going off.
Carrying their kids full of blood. It's crazy.
And there's people.
It's very sad.
And there's people that, are hostages from all over the world. And there's Australians being killed, English people being killed, Americans being killed.
Yeah, I think 14 Americans so far
But I
have
think
been
at
killed.
the moment, what they're using America for, going back to your point, Kay, is intelligence, because obviously the intelligence failed, and the Sixth Fleet is offshore in case it is needed. But they've been warned, and I don't know. I don't think America will heed to it, but they've basically been warned by Iran about not getting involved. And the thing that I find so ironic is they've been warned by Iraq as well. Well, how long did we spend in Iraq as Americans?
2 or 3 presidencies.
Yeah.
And now they're saying you get
George
involved.
W. Then Clinton. Then
Yeah,
the other side came by and finished it.
you get involved in anything we do. So it's a very volatile area. Some people are asking the Saudis to get involved, and that's another reason.
I think we should have everyone get uninvolved.
What's that?
Everyone get uninvolved.
Well, I think whichever way you look at it, people are going to get massacred.
Maybe if anyone gets involved, force them to sit at a table and come to an agreement, a peaceful one.
Yeah.
If you're going to get involved.
I agree.
Yeah, that's been working real well recently.
Big war is big money for certain people,
Yeah.
which is unfortunate.
It also is gonna change our climate. We're in a recession already, so everything's going to go up again. Gas prices, just
Interest rates.
Yeah. So that's also how it's going to affect us. It's going to be the blowback over here is going to be a lot too. But yeah, I mean, what can we do as citizens if our government decides that it wants to help another country? There's not much that we can do but talk about it realistically.
We can get out there and vote.
Right? But until it's time
Put
to
term
vote.
limits on some of these people.
Yeah. That's true too. I'm sorry,
I think
but
what
a
we need to do.
75-year-old man should not control what we have going on over here. Okay?
Yeah.
People,
She's like, put a young person in there.
no, I
just feel like
I
get
think
some
that
new blood, maybe.
35 to 65
I
is
think
a
the
great
age you got to be is 42 to be president.
I think
I think you
35,
can.
right?
Is it 35?
35.
35.
But it's just that 30 years, that's all you get. You don't, because these people are falling asleep standing up at this point. I don't want to see it. Okay.
But do you know how exhausted it is for the Congress and the Senate? Do you know what they do in a day?
They fix everything.
Either way,
They-
it should not be.
Throughout the day, they do congressional meetings. They're all appointed different groups, and then basically at night is when they meet at the Senate and the Congress to discuss. So they've got long days. In all fairness to them.
Yeah, but a young person would not be falling asleep during a meeting. I'm just saying.
No, I
it's just-
disagree with that totally.
I haven't seen it.
I've only looked at family members.
I haven't seen it. I've only
No.
seen old people fall asleep.
You know.
I was like,
No, a lot of them don't even.
I've seen
A lot
some
of them
kids in school
don't.
fall asleep when they're pretty young.
right. I mean, kids.
I was going to
say.
say, I totally disagree with the 75 idea.
I
But
know.
I will tell you, I wish more people. There are some young people coming through on the Democratic side that I think are pretty good. I like AOC. Take away the politics, but she's got some good ideas, and I think she's got some good ways of, portraying. I think what she says a lot of the time makes sense. But there's also a couple of more. Was it Jeffries? What's his name? Hakeem Jeffries. He's another one that's coming up, youngish guy, black guy. He's in his 30s.
Is that a Hawaiian senator or congressman that was a
And there's
Democrat
another
that
one that
flipped over?
had a great speech.
I don't believe that it should be too young or too old. I don't, because to be honest, the older that you get, the less aware that you are of how the country is going and how the country is working. So it makes it really hard for you to be able to have any input in the control of it, and that's one of the
Are you
reasons.
talking
No,
about Brian
see,
Schatz?
I don't agree with you, Kay.
You don't believe in National Coming Out Day, and that's what all the young people are into.
All right, that's not what I said. I did not say I didn't believe in National Coming Out Day. I said, what's the purpose of it?
But also,
But that's what I was saying. Yeah, but I'm correcting you. But what I'm saying is, I think the problem is when you get the millionaires and the billionaires that are in Congress and in the Senate, because they're not on the working class, medium class level. Give you an example. How much is Matt Gaetz worth? The one that caused the problem with the speaker. How much is he worth?
I don't know who Matt Gaetz is. What is he worth? $1 million?
$30 million.
Way more than that, yeah.
We're a very wealthy family.
I'll tell you a little bit. What holiday is it today? National Bring Your Teddy Bear to School Day, National Sausage Pizza Day, National Pet Obesity Day, National Coming Out Day,
Dirty man.
Emergency Nurses Day, Black Girl Day Off.
What?
That's in there. I didn't say it. I'm reading.
Kay's just left the room.
National Stop Bullying Day,
Here.
International Day of Girl Chill. I have no idea. There's so many holidays today. It's not even fun.
Yeah, what is girl chill?
That's a good question. Join us. Empower young women and girls around the world with education, independence, and love. Yeah, so, I mean, there's so much different holidays. It's not even funny.
That is so stupid.
What was the one you said earlier? Golden shower day or?
No, please don't.
That's what Courtney is trying to get put into action.
Oh, no.
I just get out a calendar and you walk in like, that's new.
But,
Yeah, where do you go from that? What were you going to say,
I
Kay?
was just going to talk about politicians. I don't know. I think that,
But I
still
think we
stand by the
need
fact
some.
that-
But we need some young blood in Congress. I'm totally with you on that. And I wish there'd be more younger people that would go. But this lady, she is a senator. She is a senator in a border town in Texas.
The average age of Congress is 58 years old.
I feel like that's an appropriate median age, though.
That's the average age of everybody, though.
Yeah.
It's actually dropped by 3 years since last year.
Well, there you go. Never mind.
Some new fresh blood.
So I don't know whether there was fresh blood, some dropping
anyone
out.
die?
I don't know.
People died?
They probably died because they're so
While they were in a meeting? Oh no.
Okay. It is interesting though. Someone did a report, and because OnlyFans is rising in popularity, whatever. Almost everybody younger has an OnlyFans. Someone said that.
Or feet finder.
There you go.
How is-
like 80% of politicians in the next 20 years will have had an OnlyFans?
I would think that's what I was about to say. What's going to happen?
We'll have a what?
OnlyFans.
A what?
An OnlyFans.
I'm not
Okay,
understanding what you're saying.
OnlyFans. So OnlyFans kind of started out as people like watching like gamers and stuff, but it has turned into kind of like the sex industry.
I don't think it was gamers. I think it went straight sex.
Did it really go?
I think the
They tried to
YouTubers and
change
They tried to keep it that way, or tried to keep it? Okay.
So it was always for sexual content, and
Are
then
we talking
OnlyFans-
politicians?
Yeah,
they're
we're
saying
saying-
the new blood coming up potentially could have an OnlyFans account in their lifetime.
And an OnlyFans is a sexual account?
Yeah.
So basically, it is go on to OnlyFans, pick whoever you like, and you subscribe, and they do videos.
What's
whether it's
OnlyFans? What is it?
It's a platform.
it's a platform, just like
It's like a
TikTok,
Google or-
Facebook, YouTube, anything like that. But you subscribe to people, and that's how they get paid. And 9 times out of 10, it's going to be either them taking off their clothes or something
I did a
in
loan
the
for
sexual
someone
industry.
who was an OnlyFans. She made like $80,000 a year.
Yeah, people make a ton of money on OnlyFans. It's really ridiculous, and I'm just like, I'm in the wrong industry.
Well, do you want to take your clothes off?
I want to make $80,000 a year for doing nothing. Like,
Well, they're taking their clothes off.
I will have to say, not from a sexual point of view, but making videos is not super easy. Even like stuff that I put on like social media, it takes time to edit and do stuff. So even though these people are making videos, it's not easy to do.
a couple of my friends have OnlyFans, and they dress up, they cosplay, so they dress up as like cartoon characters like Daphne. So they'll dress up like a sexy like Velma or something like that, and they'll just take pictures, and people subscribe to like $5 a month. You get 50 people to subscribe for $5 a month. That's,
There's
every-
like there's even an industry where there's OnlyFans like promoters or pimps, I guess you could say, where they give these people ideas of what to do, that's what's working, send them the costumes.
Managers,
Yeah,
basically.
kind of. Yeah, but
We consider them pimps.
that's
a
what
really
the
great
only reason
word.
I found out about it is I was watching this comedian and he was talking about it and he was saying like his best buddy is out here in Scottsdale and his friend is an OnlyFans
Promoter.
agent or whatever you want to be called. And they show a picture of this guy and he has like tattoos completely all over his face, neck.
Lord.
Like he looks like the long pinky nail. He had like a green like plush suit on, and I was like,
Why
yeah,
would
he
you
looks
dress
just
that?
like an agent. Like
There was a guy in Austin that wanted me to photograph OnlyFans girls, like, for him. Like, it was a lot of money, but I was like, I don't want to look at naked women all day long. I'm so sorry. This makes me very uncomfortable. And so, and he was an OnlyFans promoter, pimp.
agent, whatever you want to
whatever
say.
you call them.
I'm
But-
sure their 1099s or their self-employment description of their business is definitely going to be unique.
But yes, I was just saying that they statistically they're saying that 80% of politicians, as they if we continue with the whole internet,
The way we're
thing,
going.
yeah,
Yep.
are
The
probably gonna
influencer
have-
age.
Oh my God, everything is an influence. So yeah, I just think that's interesting. Do you guys remember that woman who ran for Senate and she was like twerk? I'm gonna twerk for Senate or something. It's really
Did she
weird.
do the dance?
She did it. Hold on. I'm having a
Is that what we're doing now? They're going to run for Senate and they're going to be like, check out my OnlyFans.
That's what I was thinking in my mind. Like, how is that like?
Steven, what do you think? You're so quiet on this
I don't think he
subject.
knows what OnlyFans is.
He's just like-
He's Googling it right now as we're looking at it.
No, I don't know.
So
I have no interest at all in
Rhode
Like-
Island Senator twerk the fork.
And I don't understand when bathing suits all became like.
I just can't.
That's
Can't understand why people in Congress are even doing stuff like this.
That's what I think. I think that is ridiculous, and I just don't.
You know, it's like
It's hard to take somebody
it's like
serious
the
for
it's
that.
like the Democrat that turned. It's like the Democrat that turned up in the House or the Senate, wearing shorts. I forget what his name is, but I mean, how disrespectful is that?
That's a small offense compared to what's coming.
No, I
I
agree.
mean that's a.
And I
Like the
agree
girl
with that. But I mean,
thing
if
is
you're
the
if you're involved in government, it's called a leadership, and it's called lead by example.
Yeah, but look at the examples we have now. The influencers that we have now. What people aspire to do. There's a lot of young people that's like, I'll do OnlyFans when I get bigger. Yes or no, Kay?
Yeah, I think they had to. So
I think I.
for strippers and things like that, right? They changed the legal age in Texas from 18 to 19, and they did the same thing with OnlyFans because they're like, you at least need a year outside of high school and things like that to be able to like grow at the very least. Like you have to be 19 to be able to do sex work essentially,
Like,
because
I
mean,
literally
that's
kind of
where-
adopted
But that's
somebody
where
this summer,
democracy
and
comes
he's 18.
in,
I
and
don't think
people
he's grown
need
up
to
yet.
know who you're voting for, because so and so was a sex worker.
exactly.
What
What
was
did you
it,
say, Courtney?
How did that girl, the vice president currently, wasn't she known as like a side piece or of a well-known congressman?
Kamala Harris?
Yeah,
Was she?
out there in California. I think that's how she got known in the politics world. Is she was someone's mistress, or potentially what do you think? Entertainment.
Okay, so little statistics. 2021, which I'm sure it's gotten bigger since then, but 2021 there was 187 million users.
That's people subscribing.
Yeah. And 2.1 million were content creators.
People showing videos.
Yeah,
That's a lot.
that's a lot. That's a huge.
Did it just peak during COVID?
I
It
think
did.
so, yeah.
Yes. It like started off TikTok, and then TikTokers would go from that to doing OnlyFans too during COVID. Yeah, it definitely peaked off during COVID.
Because there's a male loneliness epidemic right now. So
Get off the games, get out of your phone, and go meet people.
let's take a walk.
That's the thing with my son, in all fairness.
Yeah, 2021 revenue for OnlyFans was about $9 billion. 2022 was about 17 billion. 18 billion
With a B.
with a B.
That's a big network.
That is huge, and they take like a very small percentage from the creators. So that's just how much OnlyFans is making. So creators, like, they make an obscene amount of money. Like, there's a woman who she sleeps. There's one, she sleeps. All she does is sleep, and she'll wear like underwear, and that's literally all she'll do. And people pay her to watch her sleep
Yeah, it literally
on live stream.
for 2020 it went from 2.25 billion to 2021 9.3 billion, and then doubled again in
Is
2022.
it the guy with the $500 million house?
That would
The
make sense.
woman, read this. Net worth in 2022, over $20 million, because she started on Twitch, and then she 101.5 million per month on OnlyFans.
Is
Yeah.
that in her picture getting an award?
So
yeah, she's a Twitch streamer. She's
Twitch
a gamer.
was that's for gamers. That's
Yeah,
streaming
that's
gamers,
gamers.
and a lot of cosplayers and stuff would stream on there, watching them play games. A lot of girls.
Yeah, and then so now a lot of the time
pretty.
she actually lives in Houston. See, she's sleeping.
Oh yeah, I've seen her before.
Yeah,
on TikTok.
So she started off doing that, and then she like does yoga and does like weird stuff on her streams, and then people, she's really pretty, so she started doing OnlyFans. Now she makes 1.5 million on OnlyFans. That's how. So it's just a crazy business. Like, I think, but I don't know. I think it's going to be interesting how the climate's going to change. Because, like, the same thing with Justin Trudeau, right? People dredged up a lot of his old pictures and things like that from him in college. So it's going to be super easy to find these people, you know, as they continue. Like,
Oh
once
my
they're in
goodness.
office.
I like the statistics. OnlyFans users, 87% of users are male, 10% are female, and 3% would rather not say what they are.
Male only.
Those would be some numbers to show it.
What would you say if you found your husband?
Where's the money?
No.
I mean, this is pretty.
If your husband was watching this, what would you say to him?
What's the top male OnlyFans getter?
I know that he
Or
wouldn't.
earner?
Funny.
But yeah, this is about the same thing as porn. That just is what it is. It's the new age of porn.
I have no. My wife would kill me.
If you were watching porn or doing an OnlyFans account?
Both.
You gonna create content, Steven?
No, because she'd kill me. I'd be dead. I would not be.
So the top males actually earn more than the women.
So does that prove the lowest loneliness stat there too?
Emery she's just, I don't know, she's just a freaking anomaly.
But
That
they
lady
talk
makes me
about
crazy.
all these people and how much money they make, but it says the median account holder makes about $180 a month.
$180. Yeah, like a regular person, but like the top 2%, they earn 226,000 on average. But the males make the most, but also most of the people who watch male OnlyFans are gay men. So it says men typically earn $444,000 on average, more than the highest paid women on OnlyFans. But
Nobody needs to see my body.
there's a straight man, because there's an interview, and there's this very, very straight man, and he knew that a lot of his subscribers were gay men. So his OnlyFans content, it consists of him bending over.
No, I'm good. Stop there. Nope, we're
That's all
done.
you need to know. Just consists of him.
No, I'm good. We're done.
Bending over, doing what?
Yeah, kind of.
Really?
You know.
What, showing his asshole or something?
It's very
Yeah,
tasty.
I don't feel like we have any boundaries so far here today. So, like, why is that the one that like
I just didn't want to
you're
do.
Well, you
you're
did
pissing
say
out there
that.
for Golden Shower Day? Now you
Just
can't
so
talk about-
everybody knows, we are celebrating National Coming Out Day.
Obviously.
I thought that was really.
Show your asshole on, what's it called? Only one or something?
OnlyFans.
I thought you would know the name of it already.
No.
He's ignoring us the whole thing. He's like, no, I'm not doing this.
I'm like, no, this is.
The highest.
This is the age we live in now, though. It is. Like, seriously. We wanted everybody to be entrepreneurs. Go to OnlyFans.
Oh, come on, that's not right.
I want to go and live in the Highlands in Scotland and just.
Everyone is doing OnlyFans. There's a rapper. He's, I don't know, quote unquote a famous rapper. I don't like his music. It's awful. He's
You have
the
his name?
highest paid Tyga.
Tyga.
The highest paid male, $7.6 million a month on OnlyFans.
Cardi B has one?
$10 million a month.
Just on OnlyFans.
Bella Thorne, if you
She
remember.
Are they
has
showing
one?
nudes and stuff?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but Bella Thorne, she's an ex-Disney star.
Oh, that says enough.
$11 million
Okay. No, I'm
a
just
month.
joking.
What?
And Black
Disney's a
China,
whole other.
$20 million a month.
Who is Black China?
She used to be with
She's
Lu-
Tiger's baby She used to be with Rob Kardashian too.
There we go. Yeah.
But she's his baby mama, which is so.
I gotta get caught up on the new the hypnotist, but I have no idea about any of this. I've seen her before.
Yeah, Mia Khalifa, $7 million. Erica Mena, $5 million.
I think I know
Mia-
two of these people are the top 7 so far.
She's a pop star. She's
No
a
clue.
British pop star. Safari Samuels, he's Nicki Minaj's ex-boyfriend. That's what he's known for. He's 1 million.
Is that any relation to Manson, the psycho?
This lady?
Yeah. Oh, Hanson. Okay. Got her last name wrong.
Casanova. That guy looks terrifying. Jen Wolf. Then 900,000. Aaron Carter.
What?
A month though? That's impressive.
You know who Aaron Carter is,
He's the
right?
younger brother of the Backstreet Boys, right?
Yes, but he's
Or NSYNC. Which one is it?
Backstreet Boys.
Backstreet Boys?
Backstreet Boys. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Who is he?
Aaron Carter.
He's one of the younger brothers of one of the Backstreet Boys.
Was he actually in the Backstreet Boys?
No, his older brother
No,
was.
but he
Oh,
used
okay.
to be a.
He used to be a Disney one too, didn't he?
Yeah,
I think he was on Disney.
This song.
There's kind of a trend here.
What's
Was he
going
really?
on? You, as soon as you hear the song, you're gonna.
Oh yeah. Oh.
No, I'm glad I can say I don't know the song.
I want candy.
This is like a remake.
No.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay, I know the original one then.
Yeah, I grew up watching this.
I'm so sad. What the
What are you
heck?
sad about?
Aaron Carter? My whole childhood is ruined.
Everything we've been talking about, now your childhood is ruined.
Yes.
Okay.
And this guy. Remember I showed you this guy? Or did I show Laura last week?
Well, he needs to eat more
Remember?
avocado.
So I don't think he does anything naked, but he eats on live stream.
What's he
and
eat?
He's a professional eater.
He does do naked stuff.
Oh, okay.
While he's
I'm not-
eating?
I have no idea.
Perhaps he uses the stuff he's like.
No, mm-mm,
Oh, here we
mm-mm.
go.
No, we're good.
Okay.
Now we're gonna have some fun.
And then
Okay.
there's this girl, her name is Belle Delphine.
Cucumbers are popular.
But she sold her bathwater for like $100 a pop. Her quote unquote bathwater.
Okay, I saw that some girl was selling their farts in a jar.
Her too. That was her.
Shoes, socks, used clothes.
Somebody went as far as to do a medical research test to see if her skin particles were actually in the water. Because
Was it really?
no, it
Oh,
wasn't.
she
selling regular
sold a
water.
Sarco water. And she
Yeah, she sold like probably dirty dishwater.
maybe threw
or
some
something.
soap.
Well, why
in there.
wouldn't you just sell your bath water?
Like,
She
What
probably
does it-
sold so much bath water she couldn't take that many baths.
she's a troll, so because she's beautiful, she got a lot of the male. She took advantage of the male loneliness epidemic.
Here you go
and
again
so
with that.
she opened up a Pornhub account, and she said that just her videos were clickbait titles. So it would be
Click to the OnlyFans.
no. So it would be like Belle Delphine, strokes but it's a chicken. She's holding a chicken, but she calls it,
A cock.
Yeah, she called it a cock. And there you go.
I mean, that makes sense.
And that's all she was doing though.
So
and
people were
would
perverts.
pay so much money, and I was like, you go girl, because that's hilarious. You're selling bottled water and calling it your bath water. You're saying you're doing this, and you're holding a chicken. It's interesting. I don't know. So, beautiful.
Steven's like, I'm done with this
I'm done with
conversation.
this crap.
It's like, I'm over it. But, yeah. So,
What a load of crap.
that's how people make money. I think it's ridiculous that people make so much money, though. That is a huge amount of money.
I think
That's per month though.
Exactly.
I think people that get in it now are probably not going to make as
But
much. It
that's
should have
one
been
of
the people that
That's one of the
started.
problems we've got, because kids growing up think, oh, well, I'm going to be an influencer. I'm going to do this. And then
Yeah,
they lose their school traits.
But in reality, all that money is made by the top 10% of the
Absolutely.
of
The kids don't see it that way.
the social.
It's
you know,
like, the typical
creators.
example was me when I went to school. I didn't take school seriously because all I wanted to do is to go to Olympics.
Yeah.
I didn't care where I finished at Olympics. As long as I went to Olympics, that's all that bothered me.
I think you're right, because there was there's a study that about kids who, remember when we were kids, we want to be, you know, doctors, lawyers, yada yada, whatever.
That ain't the case
Evel
no
Knievel.
more.
Exactly. Now, what is
People
it? Like
wanna be-
70% want to be content
They want to be
creators.
content creators and
That's-
influence because
yeah.
that they see what's going on.
That's all they want to do. And this is Nikado Avocado Chase. This is what he used to look like before, and this
Oh,
is what
wow.
he looks like now.
He just
Oh
eats
my
like,
God.
Why does he have a gas mask with the Happy Meal going on over there?
He's just a disgusting person. I don't know. But he used to be vegan, and then he got tired of being vegan, and then he started eating a ton of food. But that's also the dangers of being an influencer. You have to keep revving it up, and it's not. I don't think.
I think the pressure of an influencer is they've got to change it and they've got to be
Hip and new.
Mm-hmm.
shocking to the world. There's got to be a shock value to it
That's true.
because it's clickbait.
Like maybe like a Johnny Topper of everything.
Yeah,
So if
because
somebody's
it's something
there-
like clickbait. That's all it is.
Like,
You know.
was it 9-minute abs and it was 8-minute abs and 7-minute abs?
It was interesting. I was watching a journalist program a couple of weeks ago, and it was saying, one time you'd walk down like the local supermarket, and as you get to the kiosk, to check in your groceries, there'd be somebody there checking in your groceries, and you get the old magazines that were there. What were they called? Like there was one that was
Not Insider, but
Insider was one of them, I think.
The tabloids?
The tabloids that they used to have, remember?
Mhm.
And they used to have like pictures of a man, and then the rest was a giraffe and stuff like that.
yeah.
And stories about this person and that person. And you'd pick one up and you might read it while you're in line and you're waiting. But sometimes you end up buying the damn thing. Well,
Yeah.
now you don't see
Old-fashioned
them.
and marketing.
You don't see them now.
I think it's like People or
Now it's just social media that sort of.
Bill does it already. But I think I saw it at the HEB checkout line.
You did. It's
Yeah.
still around. Is
Well,
it?
it wasn't as bad as what we were. What we were was more of a, like I said, I think it was People or. But it
People was
definitely-
one of them.
It was definitely like Kim Kardashian on the cover or something like that.
Yeah.
So I guess
With
that's
two heads.
the main topic of it.
Next podcast, everybody wear a bikini so we can get our views up.
Huh?
Courtney. That's how we have to talk.
You're gonna have to Photoshop something in there, okay? I'm not doing that. No. What about you?
No, I'm not into Speedos.
That's all I was about to say. In the UK, most people wear Speedos, right?
They do. We don't.
Do they
there's-
really?
Yeah.
It's like the instead of
I mean, in America, there's so much,
shyness about it.
it's like, I don't know how to explain it, but in the States, there's so much naivety.
it's just a
like-
different
I'll give
culture.
you an example, all right? In our house, for what it's worth, I walk around the house naked. My kids see me naked. It's just a European household. We don't care.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what I've got. At least my family should know what I've got.
It is so.
Do you understand what I'm saying? It's like,
Yeah.
it's just a completely different culture.
That is so interesting.
And yet over here, I've heard families,
Egad.
Yeah, I don't feel like you should walk out naked when your friends and guests are outside, right? I mean,
well, no, I mean, that doesn't happen. I mean, there's, but I mean, I might put a bath towel on to cover it up, but I mean, that's all it is.
I think there's a thing
But
about
there's too much,
Japan,
there's too
too.
much naivety.
They said Japan is conditioning their residents to be perverts because it's like nudity is so frowned upon, like in person, but then they have vending machines that sell like women's underwear,
Right, and they,
used underwear, and like there's
right, and then
in
also
every-
they have public baths.
Yeah, and in the convenience store too. You know how we have tabloids? They just have just little naked ladies in the
They used to
back.
have those, but there was a little plastic bag over it.
Yeah.
back in the
Yeah,
day.
back in the
Yeah, we used to have those. I remember those. Yeah. So I'd be like, man, plastic bag
Hey,
right
you're
there.
giving your secrets away.
You can only look in the front and the back.
Anyway, we'll wrap it up. That's another Olympian podcast for another week. Thank you, Kay.
So
We appreciate you coming in. We how long have we been on air now?
hour and 20.
A long
A
time.
little bit long this week.
Chase was talking so much. That's why.
That's okay. We'll
I
invite,
think, like-
we'll invite him on again sometime. Thanks for coming in, Chase.
Thank
So,
you for
how do we
having
get
me.
hold of you? How do we get hold of you? Do we need? If we need to get hold of
all
Mr.
my
Chase-
contact information, I can send it to you, email to you, text to you.
No, I mean, tell the viewers how.
Oh, I don't do like social media or anything. You can call my cell phone 832-630-746.
That's fine. Okay. How about you,
You can
Courtney?
email me at Courtney@lspmortgage.com.
And if they're interested in, they want to refinance their home, build a home.
Ask questions.
Yeah, if you got an
Any
OnlyFans
type of
account,
loan.
need refinances, feel free to give me a call.
Especially if you make 1.5 million a month, you know?
We should be looking at a few houses.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And if you need any real estate advice, you can contact us through social media. If you're looking to become an agent, you're an investor and you want to be start your portfolio off, we can help you with that as well, with the help of Courtney. Actually, we're doing one deal at the moment, aren't we? We sort of close on Friday. So, you know, if you want to start your portfolio, now is a great time to buy real estate, regardless what BS is out there, to be perfectly honest.
It's not about when, it's about how long you're in it.
Absolutely. And so if you want to contact us, it's at C21 Olympian